yeah, 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 look, ball player, no watching from the side. Said that you got him next, well go ahead and show him why. No limits in the sky, go ahead and take your shot. This one is for the city, let's show him how we rock. Coaches used to call my phone, what you doing?
What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Up Next podcast. The podcast, of course, where we tell you who's up next in youth sports, and we are always heavy basketball. We got another big time high school phenom guest on tap. But before we get to him, before we introduce you to him, of course, I'm Jamal Murphy, got my guy Khalid, and of course, we got the debut of a new co-host, Stanley. So we'll
Hi.
start with you, Stanley. What's going on? How you doing?
What's up? I'm new here. Thanks y'all for having me. Just trying to get more acquainted with the up and coming talent. So happy to be here.
No doubt. And what's up, Khalid? Everything good?
Everything good. Hot as hell here in Atlanta, but
Uh-huh.
I'll make it.
I hear you.
Hotlanta
So
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. So like I said, we got a big time guest today to talk to and see what's going on in his young life, young basketball life. It's Logan Chwastyk. He's a top 15 in the class of 2028, 6'10 center, big man. Currently at Malvern Prep in Pennsylvania. He's from Delaware County, outside of Philly. He's being recruited by everyone. So thanks for joining us, Logan. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Of course.
So we always like to get started when we have, our big time high school guests, high school basketball guests on. We want to figure out where it all started, man. So go way back for us. Tell us when you first remember having a basketball in your hand. Did it start well for you? Was it rocky?
Yeah.
Give us the lowdown.
So going all the way back, I think the first time I had a ball in my hand for real was like sixth grade. I mean, obviously I played like youth rec center basketball, just like with my town and my friends. But I think when I picked up basketball and started playing AAU, it was probably in sixth or seventh grade. I played for a team called Delco Goats, which is still a high school and middle school AAU program around my area. Coach Mike Caperna was really the first one to get me to take it serious somewhat. I originally started playing baseball. I was playing baseball all throughout middle school. I was pretty good. I was looking to start for my high school coming in freshman year, so that would have been huge. And then I met Coach Julian in seventh or eighth grade, I think. And he really just like instilled the work ethic kind of in me. And ever since then, I've obviously skyrocketed. But when I first met him, he saw my potential. I started going to workouts 2 or 3 times a week. And then from there, we just kept working each week. And eventually I decided to take basketball serious and I stopped playing baseball. I reclassed my 8th grade year. I did a year at Strathaven Middle School for 8th grade. And then I did a year at Waldron Mercy Academy, which is a Catholic middle school in Lower Merion. And then high school, I toured a few high schools. I went to St. Joe's Prep, and I went to Malvern, and I decided to go to Malvern. And these last 2 years, going to be my 3rd year, last 2 years of Malvern have been great. My freshman year, I was the 6th man. I wasn't expecting to be the 6th man, but I played behind 2 seniors, and they taught me a lot of leadership skills that I have today. And then finished that year out, not exactly how I wanted to, but, that was probably one of the rough patches, but it was a good learning curve for me, and it helped me really become who I was meant to be in my sophomore year, which was one of the main guys. I'll highlight some of the guys on my team: Nick Harkin, Marvin Reed, maybe you guys know them, Ryan Melnazak, Colin Romanchik. That was our starting 5 last year. It's going to be the same this year. But it was really great last year where me and Nick could work together, and I was able to score a lot some games. He was able to score a lot in other games. And I think I finished the year out with like 550, close to 600 points. I was averaging a double-double a game, which was really good. And then, so I'm going to stay at Mountain one more year this year. And looking into the future, I just want to, finish my unfinished business here at Malvern, score 1,000 points, hopefully get close to a state title, win our conference, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your AAU career so far. Like,
Mhm.
I coached on the EYBL circuit, and just to get the peach is a big deal.
Yep.
To have a winning record is a big deal, but it's unbelievable to be going undefeated during the season on EYBL. Talk to me about this magical season you guys just had.
It was really, really special. I just watched our coach on podcast talk about how we, as a team, nobody has an ego. I think that was the one thing that pushed us all um, to winning. In practice every day, doesn't matter if I'm a top 15 player, if Rowan Phillips is a top 25 player, if Carter is a top 80 player, and then we have a bunch of guys that aren't even ranked. So like, we play against all these other big names. Like we played CP3 in the final. I think they had 2 or 3 5-stars. I think just like our teamwork and the way that we're selfless, I think that was what really carried our season. Our practices were really hard. I'm not gonna gut it or anything. They were tough, but as like I think it just grew our bond as a team, and we were all able to stick together through those tough moments where like we were losing at halftime, and then we came back. Like I'll highlight a few games. The Expressions game, we were down 20 at halftime. We had no reason. We had no reason to just keep going, but we found a little glimmer of hope within each other and just decided to turn it on. And we ended up winning that game in a close one. Or like AB Elite. AB Elite, that was our Peach Jam. That was our 4th game in Peach Jam in pool play. That was kind of our loser go home game. And we were losing at halftime again. And we turned up. We were able to bring it to overtime. And credit to them, they gave us a really good run, but we pulled it out. And I think just our teamwork, yeah. And like I mentioned with the egos, I think everybody really cares for each other, and there's no jealousy. I think throughout the Peach Jam run, I had really good games. I think the best game I had was probably the PSA game. I finished with 18-13 and 4 or 5 blocks, and everybody was happy for me, and it was really crucial for me to get that for us to win the game. But then in the championship, I got in foul trouble. I think I finished with like 5 or 6 points, maybe a few rebounds, a few blocks. But like for me to just be there and be on the bench, like showing my leadership and being able to help them push through, like it really helps some guys level up. I mean, Rowan didn't have a great game either, but Ian Smith, Carter Smith, those guys really stepped up and played a big role in that win. And then obviously winning the trophy, that was what we came here to do. I mean, each game we had to fight like we were an underdog, although we were 21-0. So, it was pretty hard, but I think it was really special, and getting to see smiles on everyone's faces when it was like we finally did it kind of thing. That's what we came here for. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go back. I want to take it back a little bit because you mentioned what year did you stop playing baseball?
I think I stopped playing baseball my 8th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So how tall were you in 8th grade?
I think I was probably 6'4", 6'5". Yeah.
You were 6'4", 6'5".
Mhm.
That's
so
it?
so you
That's it.
you've been crazy tall basically your entire childhood.
Yeah, I was always the tallest one in class.
Uh-huh.
I was always walking around the hallways. Everyone like you get like the funny phrases like "What's the weather up there?" stuff like that. It's corny,
Uh-huh.
but like it's true.
Uh-huh.
It was always cool being the tallest one. I think I was able to I was born into a really competitive family.
Mm.
So everything I want to do, I want to compete and I want to win and I don't want to lose. So, walking around being the tallest one, it's kind of like you feel like a winner a little bit. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. How many siblings do you have?
I have one sibling. I have a sister. She's
Uh-huh.
15. She
Mhm.
goes to Strathaven Middle School. She just graduated. She's going to go to Strathaven High School.
Mhm.
My mom's over here trying to whisper to me. She's 6'2". So
Okay.
she's decently tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say. So when was it like you mentioned like I guess around 8th, 9th grade you started to get that, or maybe you said before that you started to get that work ethic.
Mhm.
When is that when you fell in love with basketball? Is that when you were like, okay, obviously I'm tall and I know I could be pretty good at this. Like when did you start to really feel like you had something?
I think kind of like what you said, fell in love with basketball. I think I fell in love with basketball in 8th grade. Actually, probably way before that, but I think that's when I really it started to click in my mind. There's a park across my street called Triangle Park I would go to every day as a kid, just shooting, just to have fun. And I think when I really fell in love with it was when I would go to workouts and I would start to have fun dribbling against guys and making moves on people and scoring and winning. Winning's fun. I love winning.
Hmm.
Like I mentioned about the competitiveness, but I think I really started to fall in love with it in 8th grade, my second year of 8th grade, when I started driving 2.5 hours to Team Mellow practices. I played with them for the Mid Hoops middle school circuit, and that's when I really knew I was like, all right, I'm committed. And then ever since then, there doesn't go a day where I don't want to touch a basketball.
Hmm.
I'm at my beach house right now, and I'm still trying to find a way to go hoop. And I need rest, and everyone's telling me that, but
Right.
So that's a hell of a commitment to go to Team Mellow all the way
hmm
from Philly. That means that we are one team final. Everybody in that area started recruiting you,
yeah.
probably during that time intensely. What was
hmm
that like going into choosing an AAU program? Because a lot of people, it's real complicated at times. What was it like for you? As far as your first recruitment into an AAU program?
I think it was really just I wouldn't say it's who fit me best. I think I really just needed a wake up call. I think I wasn't. I've gone through hard workouts before that, but I don't think I was necessarily ready for what they had in store for me. And I think Coach Julian Dunkley, my trainer, I think he knew that. I think he kind of knew and Tyler Sutton went through that program too in middle school. Um, but I think Coach Julian knew those coaches were going to push me and make it really hard. And there were times where I would go to those practices and I'd just be like, why am I here? I really don't this is not what I want to be doing. But, in the end, it was probably the best thing I've ever done because it prepared me for the future, which, right now, as I mentioned, I played for the team final team these last 2 years, and those practices were extremely hard. But, mentally, I was able to work through it and just understand that this is what's going to get me better. And I think that 8th grade year at Mello, when I decided to go there, I think that was really a big mental piece for me and just learning how to get through something.
How'd you get through those times? Like you mentioned, like there were times you didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
They were they were working you really hard. Might not have felt, in place really. But like what got you through those moments? What made you keep going?
really just kind of my why. I think my whys have changed over the years, but I think in 8th grade, my why was I just wanted to be one of those guys you saw on TV and one of those guys you saw all over Instagram, getting all the offers and all the stars and everything like that. I think when I went to those practices, I was like, okay, well, they've done this before. So I need to step up and do it better. Um, and I think over the years, obviously it's changed. Now it's my why is because I want to go make a lot of money in college and eventually the pros. But like definitely I think my whys, and then I think another thing that got me through it was just my competitiveness. Like you said, I never want to lose. So I would go to a practice and I would be having a bad practice and I'd just be like, I can't end like this. And then I would need to raise my level of play just through the middle of practice and just fight through it and get through a better practice and just end the practice and, have that good feeling after you work out. You're like, oh, I just did something. So,
Right.
that's a great feeling. I always wanted that.
Yeah. You mentioned being a sixth man your freshman
Mhm.
year. So
Yeah.
you said that you learned a lot of things from seniors and
Yeah.
things like that. What are some of the things that you learned leadership wise that you feel like you want to carry and pass on to younger players?
Definitely. I really love those guys. First of all, Junior McFadden, Tague, Ryan, Andrew Davis. So Malvern is really big on brotherhood, and I spent a lot of time with those seniors just throughout the day during school and then in practices too, obviously. But I think the biggest thing they taught me was you don't have to be the star to make an impact. I think to me coming off the bench, I played starter minutes, as you could say. I played if it's a 32-minute high school game, I played 20 minutes, 19 minutes some nights. So it wasn't necessarily, oh, you're a sixth man. It's kind of like, well, you're playing starter minutes, so do starter things. And I
Mhm.
think they really taught me how to come on the floor and be vocal. I think being vocal was one of the big things. Obviously, they're seniors, so there always means a lot. But they were able to just like help me understand that I can make an impact still coming off the bench and being, I mean, I was highly recruited as a freshman too. So
Mhm.
coming off the bench and being able to just like bring a certain energy and vibe to the team that uplifts us all.
Talk about your game now. What do you think your strengths are, and what do you think are the things you really have to work on?
I think my best strengths right now, rebounding. I
Hmm.
mean, I was averaging 6 rebounds on the UIBL, which for a 6'10" big man isn't amazing, I'll be honest. But I had games where I would have 13, 15, 16. I think I even had a game where I had 17 rebounds. So I think that's a really big strength of mine when I want to and I get in that mental space to just rebound the basketball. I think that's a huge strength of mine. I think I'm very athletic and coordinated for my size. I think I can jump a little bit. I can block shots. I also think handling the ball and shooting threes is going to be a big thing in the future. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm working really hard on it. And I think another big thing people don't talk about with me is I can play defense. I'm talking about guarding guards in the perimeter. So for my team final team this year, we did a lot of hedging, trapping blitz and ball screens, all that kind of stuff. And I did especially a really good job in our Peach Jam run of keeping guys in front and pushing them back. And I think that was really something that stood out. And, obviously, I think some weaknesses would be my left hand. Coach Julian, hearing me say that would be like, oh, thank you. You said that. Like, he'd be like, we're going to get right to work on that. That's like every day I go in the gym with him. We're always working on our left hand. It's getting better, though, for sure. And then I think another weakness would be now a lot of people would say my other weakness would be I'm soft or my physicality. I don't personally believe that just because the way I play with aggression and I play with a little bit of anger sometimes where I just want to go through you. But that's another thing I'm working on the floor is just being able to like show that kind of more and just being able to like get to the foul line more, stuff like that, and like being able to body guys and chest guys up, which actually I did a pretty good job with this feet jam run. But still, I want to get it to a level where it's like, oh, this guy's like this, like he's really strong, like yeah, for sure.
Who do you look at in the NBA or that you think you want to play like and that you've been compared to?
Yeah. I see a lot of like Lori Markkinen. Um, I got shown Lori Markkinen a few weeks ago by some people, and they were like, they showed me like Lori Markkinen highlights, and I was like, geez, like I didn't know I don't know if he could do all that.
Right, right.
Like he's like running up and down the floor at 6'11", just dunking on guys, popping threes. I think that's someone I can really be like. I got sent a lot of film of a guy named JP Estrella in college. I got sent his high school film. He looks like his high school me was kind of what I strive to be in high school. Just a strong, dunk everything, shoot threes kind of guy. And then obviously people used to say this a lot. I don't know if they say it anymore, but Cooper Flag, his skill set's really good for being 6'9" and how strong he is. That would be really good to get there. But I think if you combine all their skills and their strength and their talent, I think that's really who I want to be. And obviously, I want to model my game after people, but I also want to be my own self. I
Right.
want to have my own game where I can be someone that somebody else is going to model after.
And you mentioned my guy Julian, who
Hmm.
like if you go through Philadelphia, there's no way if you're a top player, he's not going to touch you. Talk
Yep.
about his influence on Philadelphia basketball and on you personally.
I mean, just in general, not just Philadelphia, it's the whole area.
Yeah,
South Jersey, a little bit of North Jersey, and he gets some like Baltimore guys sometimes, but like his influence in the area it's just always felt. His presence is always known. Like you go to a workout, even if it's not his workout, you always hear about him. I go to his workouts all the time, and he always brings back pro college guys. Quadir Copeland just signed with the Rockets. He's a guy that I actually haven't got a chance to work out with, but I'm hoping to go back in the summer and work out with him a little bit. But Zachariah Hicks, I think he was with the Lakers. He just got signed on a two-way maybe or something like that. But just his ability to bring back those really good guys and just have me compete against them, it really helps me. And obviously he's doing so much for all the youth kids that are trying to get places. I think he probably has like 200-300 guys right now that he's working with, trying to get them scholarships. And a lot of those guys already have scholarship offers. I mean, I can go down the list and just name a bunch of guys: Tyler, Mackay, me, um, Jameson, a bunch of guys that he just works with that are all set up for success in the future. And he's done a really good job with each and every one of them. So,
The next step in your career is obviously college.
yeah.
How much have you thought about that? I mean, you kind of mentioned it, like that's your new why at the moment.
Yeah.
Have growing up where you're a college basketball fan, do you have schools that you always like wanted to go to? I mean, you're in the Philly area. There's a lot of good schools around there. Talk
For sure.
about like what your thought process is as far as college goes.
I personally, I love college basketball. Me and my dad watch college basketball every day during the season. We always find games. I think watching it as a kid really is going to help me during my recruitment process because I know what certain programs are looking for and what they can do with certain guys. Um, there's a few teams that I always watched growing up. I always watched Florida. That's been like a more recent thing. They've had a lot of big guys like me, Thomas
Yeah.
Howe, Alex
Yeah.
Condon. And then UConn was a team that I've just been watching for a while, and I've really grown to like Danny Hurley's coaching style. I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, this guy's crazy," but like for me, in my headspace, I think I play better when coaches kind of have that mindset about the game. And obviously, I've watched them since I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 maybe. My mom and uncle are from upstate New York, and they've always been UConn fans. So
Mhm.
you know, um, and then obviously like my hometown teams, like you said, there's a lot of great schools in Philly. I think one that really sticks out is Nova. They've shown a lot of interest in me, and I grew up going to their games, especially like against UConn. I would go to those games; they're huge games, packed out, Fanarin Pavilion, and their campus is nice, And I go to Malvern Prep, which is an Augustinian school, and Villanova is also an Augustinian school. I think there are only 9 or 10 Augustinian high schools and colleges in the country, so that's a direct connection. And
Mhm.
yeah.
How's it feel, with it used to be, and just like a few years ago, really, it used to be, when you thought about money, it wasn't until the NBA. But
Yeah,
now, money comes in college and sometimes even before that. Like, how have you dealt with that aspect of it?
I really think it's just like being able to know it's there, but also being able to be like, okay, I gotta work really, really hard to get that and not care about it until I have it. I think like a lot of guys kind of get attracted to it. My mom likes to call it peanuts. She says like you're in the long run. We're not trying to make good money for a year. We're trying to make generational wealth. So like just being able to focus on basketball and being able to like commit to a college where I can go and become like a starter first year and play big minutes. I think that's more important than the money piece because that'll set me up for the future better. But obviously, like you said, you can get paid in college, so that's really huge for a lot of guys, and it's very life changing. So
Right.
This past spring, or I don't know when it was. I think it was last spring or 2 springs ago. Was your first time playing at Team USA, right?
uh, I want to say October 2024 was my
Yeah,
first one.
right,
Yeah.
right. How was that? How was that experience? Because a lot of people come back with different, views on how it went for them. Okay, yeah, you got the USA
I got one
shirt
right
on,
now, long sleeve.
right on cue.
Yep.
How was that experience for you? And it is a big deal to get selected because you can't just walk in there. You have to get selected. So
Yeah.
how was that experience for you?
I think the first one was probably my most eye opening experience I've ever had. Um, I wasn't I don't even think I knew what it was when I got invited. And I was like, oh, look at like my mom showed me and she was like, your name's on here. And I was like, oh my God, like this is huge. I looked it up, I saw what it was all about. And I went there and I was expecting to be like, I was just trying to fit in the pack. I was trying to just not necessarily be like, I didn't want to like make any big mistakes where like it was like glaring. I was just trying to like do the right thing. I was trying to learn. That was the biggest thing. We had like seminar sessions teaching us about certain stuff. That was really important, and I'm really glad they did that because it taught us a lot about the NIL landscape and all that kind of stuff. Um, but when it comes to basketball, I really just like seeing and playing with all those top guys was really like my first time ever doing that, and I was really like, wow, like these guys are insanely athletic. They can shoot, they can dribble, they can push the ball up the floor and do all this stuff. And I was really like, okay, that's what I have to be if I want to play at the next level. So then I'll jump forward now to I've been to my 4th mini camp, and I was just at the trials, and I made the top 18. Um, I did hyperextend my knee, so I got hurt. I think I would have been on the team. I think I would have got a gold medal. That would have been awesome. But I think now when I go to USA, I think it's just me trying to have an immediate impact and show what I wasn't 2 years ago. I think I had all the potential 2 years ago, and now I'm starting to turn into, a product. And I think they're seeing that. And I think you have to do things there to stand out. Like your voice is really important. Some of the guys that are on the team made it purely because they have a voice. They're the loudest ones in the gym. They're always talking. Even when you're doing sprints, you can hear their voice, which is like crazy because you're like running, you're like heavy breathing, and they're just still talking. That's a huge thing when it comes to USA basketball. They care about that a lot. And then like their language, they have like certain things they say within the team huddle that a lot of people wouldn't understand. They have like gold and silver medal shots, which is like a silver medal shot is a puncture 3. A puncture is when you get in the paint and you kick out for a 3. So just little stuff like that, just really, you just have to be a separator.
So before we let you go, I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions just to get to know your personality.
Let's
all
go.
right? All right. Who's the GOAT? NBA GOAT?
Michael Jordan.
Okay. Good answer.
Great answer. Okay.
Favorite NBA player right now?
My favorite NBA player right now, I'm gonna have to go with Embiid on the Sixers.
Okay.
When he's healthy, he's a different animal.
That's true.
No question. Favorite women's player?
I like watching Angel Reese just because I think her personality and the way she plays, it's like enjoyable to watch. I think, or Caitlin Clark because she's cold.
True.
She's the bucket.
Favorite subject in school?
History for sure.
Okay. Biggest hobby outside of basketball?
Listening to music.
Okay. So favorite music artist?
My favorite music artist right now is probably Drake or Lil Wayne.
Okay. See, he's kind of an old soul.
He's
Michael Jordan. They got Lil Wayne in there. So
Little
I
bit.
like that.
My dad really put me on
Michael
that.
Jordan. You can't go wrong with that. You know?
Yep.
With Embiid, I'm a Knicks fan, so you know.
You better watch out this year. We got
They have a
LeBron
lot of
now.
swag. They have a lot of swag right now.
A lot of swag for sure.
Favorite sport besides basketball?
Besides basketball, either baseball or soccer, but I'm probably gonna go baseball.
Okay. What position did you play in baseball?
Yeah,
when you were
I was a pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah, I was throwing gas up there.
Okay. Yeah, you've been like Randy Johnson or something, you know?
Yeah, no, like I said in middle school, I played baseball. I threw a few no-hitters. I have a few no-hitter baseballs.
Wow. Okay. Go-to move on the court right now?
Go-to move on the court? Probably spin baseline for sure. Get in the mid post and just feel the weight on the guy on your shoulder and just spin baseline for a free 2-point with no help side defense. That's great.
All right. And the best game you've had so far in your life, I don't care if it was like 3rd grade or yesterday.
I think the best game I've had in my life was my sophomore year at Malvern. My coach always mentions this every team meeting for every year. Paul Romanchik. We played French Select in the first round of our PAAA, our PESA state championship. And I think I started off slow, but I finished the game with 24, 17, and like 8 blocks. And everyone was like, oh my God. And I really that was a game where I think I woke a lot of people up for sure.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, man. Well, it was great getting to know you a little bit.
Yep, for sure.
Once again, it was Logan Chwastyk, top 15 player in the class of 2028, 6'10" center, Malvern Prep, Pennsylvania. Being recruited by everyone, he's going to have his choice. It looks like of what school to go to. So I know these coaches will be on you, but we'll be watching. We'll be rooting for you, and hopefully we get you back on soon, man. Appreciate you joining us.
Appreciate
Logan.
y'all. Thank you.
Logan, you see he has a Georgetown hat. You didn't mention that.
They didn't mention Georgetown, but it's
Georgetown. I know Thomas. Don't worry. I saw Thomas a few weeks ago. We talking.
All right.
Thank
all
you,
right.
man.
All right, appreciate
All
y'all.
right,
Have a good
all
one.
right.
Yeah, man. Looks like a promising recruit right there. So we'll be watching and see what he further develops into. But yeah, looks
Yeah,
big time already.
you're a big man with face-up ability, ability to shoot it. I learned about him through my guy Julian, who I mentioned. He's mentioned a couple of times or 3 times on the when he was talking. Julian is a big influence in the Delaware, Philly area. And anytime you want a player, that's pretty much who you need to go through in that area because he has them all.
Mhm.
And Logan is a kid that he pretty much helped raise, and it's great to see him, bloom the way he's blooming. And again, to go undefeated on the EYBL circuit is a major thing. So, shout out to Team Final and that program.
No question. No question. What do you think, Stanley?
I thought it was good. I'm ready
Uh,
to see where his work ethic takes him. I definitely will be following along on his
mhm.
journey.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
question about it. And he has these big time schools. I mean, 6'10", you got crazy size, still very young, gonna get better. So definitely a guy to look out for, no question.
yeah.
For sure.
So of course, thanks to the listeners for joining us. Of course, if you're listening, you can get the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcast, Spotify, etc. If you're watching this on YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe, share, all that. Keep following us on social media at Up Next Pod on Instagram, at Up Next _pod on Twitter, and we will be back very soon with some more talented guests, I'm sure.
Peace, everyone.
Bye.